Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we'll be talking about abstract classes. In abstract classes, we'll see how we can declare the abstract class and what is the relationship between polymorphism and abstract classes. Rule number one, the abstract class must have the modifier abstract. Like we have an abstract class person. At least one method must be an abstract method. At least one method must be an abstract method. If you see, I close this method with the semicolon. So there is no implementation of this method in this abstract class. So this is rule number one. Now, the abstract class cannot be instantiated, means you cannot create the object of the instance, object of the abstract class, because not all methods are implemented. You see here, the implementation of this method is not there. So it's not implemented. That is why we cannot create the object of the class. Rule number three, the implementation of the method is always in the child class. If you see, we have a student child class, inherits the person, the parent class. And now if you see, we are implementing the in lecture method in the student class, that is a child class. Be careful, you have to use the override method as well, because this method was actually defined in the abstract class. So we will override that method so that implementation is, because the implementation is in the child class. Now, for example, if a class student inherit an abstract class, the person, either this class provide the implementation of the method. If the implementation of the method is not there, then we must say this is an abstract class. Here, we have to say like that. So either provide the implementation, or otherwise it will become, the student class will become the abstract class. Now we have an example here. So let's try this example on the computer. So what I can do is notepad, we can have like a dot maybe x.cs. And in this program, we will have a public abstract class person, and then we have a method like public abstract void in lecture. This is the same method that we used in our previous example. I just close this method. There is no implementation. I close the class as well. Now I got another class. So public class student, because student is also a person, so I'm going to implement this method in this class. But as you know that I must say override void in lecture, and then I implement system.console.write, and I have to say student I am in a class, and then close this one. So then I will be closing this method, close the class, and now I will implement my program. So this is my program that has a public static void main method, and in this one I'll try to create person p new person object, just to show you that it is not possible because implementation is not there. So let me compile the program x.cs, and if you see, Okay, we have a problem somewhere in is equal to. So let me compile again. And if you see, he says cannot create an instance of the abstract class or interface person. So he's saying, I'm sorry, I cannot create. So this is not good. So I have to comment this line because this is not available. I can create the instance variable, not the object, not the instance itself, but I can create a variable, no problem. That is acceptable. It should be okay. So let's save it and compile the program and see. He says, yeah, is a warning. The method is the variable is declared but never used. No problem, we will use it. And now I'm saying, because student is a person, so I say, okay, create the object of the student, and please, now let's compile and see if there is no error. So it means this is acceptable. And now I can say p dot in lecture. So it must call the student lecture method. So let's save it and compile it and run it. And you see, I am in a class. So when it creates the student, and this is, by the way, person class, the abstract class. So the parent class can hold the object of a child class, and accordingly it can call the child class method as well on the runtime. So this was an example of an abstract class. Now, what is the relationship between polymorphism and abstract classes? Actually, polymorphism does not require abstract classes, but they work together. If you see in the example, we are having polymorphism here in lecture, and we are having an in lecture method. Yeah, they are working together, but if it is not an abstract class, it's okay, the polymorphism still work together. So we do have another example. For example, we have a bank account. Now in every bank you go, you will find either a checking account or a saving account. So instead of having just one bank account, why not we should have checking account, a different class, and a saving account, a different class, and implement the method differently for the checking and for the saving account. So if you see here, we have an abstract class, bank account. It has an instance variable, the balance, double balance, and then we have two abstract methods. And the third method, the get balance, we have already implemented. So it is giving you the balance amount. So as you know that abstract class must have at least one abstract method. Now what we will do is we'll try to create saving account and checking account class, and we'll try to inherit this bank account into that class. And there, for the checking account, we will implement deposit and withdraw. And for saving account, we will implement deposit and withdraw. So we will see, and we do have some extra methods as well in our saving and checking account. So if you see here, we have like post interest method. You see, so we can post the interest based on our. So this is an additional method that we need in the saving account. So this is an example that you can try at your home. Either in the class, wherever you have the time. So this is for the saving class, and then we have for the checking class. Okay, so that's it for today. Kafara majlis. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.